What is going on, YouTube? Northeast Ohio Sports Cards here for a impromptu live stream. I was going to record a video on this because it just happened, and I figured it was just as easy to go live. I know we've been bouncing back and forth between sports and Marvel, but we are talking Marvel again this evening because something crazy just happened within the last 40 to 45 minutes or so. I was watching an auction end on a box of Marvel Series 1 like you do on a Monday night. And it sold for quite a bit more than all the other ones, which raised an eyebrow to me. And within 10 minutes of that one selling, like 10, not 10, but basically every other box. So this is the sketch one. Clearly, and let me zoom in. Hold on. Whoops. This is what happens when you do live streams and you don't normally do lives. Let me zoom in here a little bit for you guys and make sure that, yeah, we're good. So this one sold for $6,000 at auction, which makes no sense because there was buy it nows for less, and there's still buy it nows for less. However, the bidding history on it looks legit. There are high feedback buyers that purchase that. That in and of itself would be a little weird, but that crap happens all the time on eBay. However, this sold at 3:55 p.m., and that is Pacific time. So about an hour ago. Within 10 minutes. So that sold at 3:55. Someone bought this for $3,250. 2 minutes later, $3,000. 3 minutes later, $3,500. 6 minutes later, $3,200. And then about a full 10 minutes later, $3,800. If I go to eBay right now, let me refresh. The cheapest one now available. Okay, someone just put one up for $3,500. Prior to this one, there was nothing left under $5,000. Someone snuck. Yep, that's it. This one too just got posted. This was not there 10 minutes ago for $2,800. But this one looks beat up. So that might be why this one's still hanging around. The cellophane's partially off on this one. So there's probably a good reason why this one's still sitting here. But yeah, someone just went crazy on these things that has a lot of capital and was looking to make a move. Now, with buy it nows, you cannot tell who bought it. On auctions, you can at least look at the bids. So the winning bidder of this one for $6,000, and like I said, this makes no damn sense, but has 321 buyer feedback. I will be extremely curious if this gets paid for. There's no way we'll ever really know, but even the run-up bids had decent buyer feedback to them. And then this happened immediately after. And I'm not saying that the two are tied together at all, but these earlier today were going for $2,500 to $3,000, and now they're just all gone. Someone went and made a move and bought them all. And then now we are looking at the cheapest. This one right here for $3,500 is open. People are super shady on this. I hate this crap. 1990 Marvel Universe Series 1 trading card box from new sealed case, 36 packs. Clearly an open box, $3,500. That one's open for $5,000. This one's up for $6,500. This one's up for $2,900. But like I said, that box is beat to hell. They actually pulled this. This was listed for $2,500 15 minutes ago. They pulled it and upped the price by $400 with it all within the last 15 minutes to 20 minutes right before I went live. So these just got absolutely annihilated. Yeah, that's still the last sale, though this may update. Look at sold items really quick. Yeah, so this one sold in the meantime for 3,500. It just isn't on 130 point yet. So, yeah, I don't know where this stuff goes from here. It's absolutely wild right now on the Marvel 90s Series 1. The PSA 10 sales continue to do fairly well. We could pull those up and look at those because that's really what's driving this whole thing. Right here, 130 point, Doug. This is what all us sports cards kids use to check eBay comps. So let's look at 1990 Marvel Universe PSA. It's a little jank sometimes. Sometimes it goes down, but other times it doesn't. So there really hasn't been much in the way of PSA 10 sales other than people making these dumb listings that say pack fresh PSA. Odds are if they have this many, they either collected them forever or they ripped a bunch of boxes and these do not meet their eye test for PSA. I highly doubt those are PSA ready pack fresh. I mean, they might be pack fresh, but I doubt they're PSA ready. So the last real sales we have were from Sunday. We have a Doctor Strange PSA 9 for $250 and a Black Panther PSA 9 for $650. An SGC 10 Wolverine for $800 almost. That's a really good price for an SGC slab. So for those of you wondering why the hell are these boxes going for so much, this is why. The PSA prices. And as I've talked about a lot, getting a PSA 10 is no easy thing, especially on this older junk wax. Good evening. Good evening, all. So when you can pull out, let me find one here. So here's a PSA 10 Hulk that went for $700. And this is the big one. This Black Panther, it's sold for $2,750. So if you buy a box for $3,000 and you get one key character out of it, Iron Man, Cap, Venom, Spider-Man, Cosmic Spider-Man, Black Panther, just one, you almost paid for the entire box. That's why these things are selling for $3,000 a piece right now, because the PSA 10 market is driving it. And someone agrees with that statement. And I don't know that it was all the same person, but I feel like it almost has to be as quickly as these moved. I have never seen this since these went crazy, where in 10 minutes, someone buys out an entire pricing tier from $3,000 to $3,500, basically. Actually, $3,800. Let's see. And another one sold that's not even listed on here yet at $35. That's this one right here. So we don't know what this one went for yet. There's a decent chance it just went for $3,500. It was a new listing and it basically insta sold. See this new listing? They only put that on there when something just got posted and it already sold at $1,636. So within the last couple minutes. The problem with Flair, whether it's or Modern Masters, is that the box is brick. So you're taking a huge risk buying Modern Masters or Flair and ripping it trying to grade. A monster risk. Go, please, for the love of God, go watch box breaks of those two sets before you dive in on that. Longer than that ago, but yes. I bought mine in March for $100. Then they went up over the summer. They were $200 to $300 most of the summer. Going in the fall, they went up to 300-ish. October, November, December, they crept up to 400. And then in the last 2 weeks, basically, they've gone from 400 to 500 to now 3,000 to 4,000. essentially within a 2 to 3 week period. When it comes to grading, if you want max value, you go PSA. That's all there is to it. You could get cute and send to the other grading companies, but if you're especially MU90, Marvel Universe 90, you're an idiot if you don't send it to PSA, quite frankly. Lower end stuff, maybe rip a box of X-Men 92 Jim Lee or something like that, and you want to get cute and send it to CGC. The problem is CGC uses a 9.5 scale. Like their best card in 90% of the time is going to be a 9.5 with the rare 10. Kind of like if you want to compare it to CGC, like a CGC 9.8 is their main grade, and occasionally you see like a 9.9 or a 10, like extremely rare. That's what CGC is using for their cards as well. It's been proven in the sports card market time and time again that people just want 10s. They just want a simple grading system. They do not want 9.5s. They will pay a premium just because it says 10 on it instead of 9.5. There's a billion sports cards examples I could give you. Brian, how long you should hold is up to you and your financial situation and what you think's going to happen. Those Series 2 boxes are $800 to $900 now. Those have shot up as well, and I expect them to shoot up again. The thing that worries me with the non-90 stuff, 90 Marvel Universe Series 1 specifically has PSA 10 sales backing it up. You have that Black Panther for $3K and a bunch of other PSA 10 sales. It's not just that. There's Stan Lee cards that sold for a lot. And some other stuff that sold for a good chunk of change in PSA slabs. All the other sets, other than Marvel Masterpieces 92, and some of the other MM sets, have good PSA sales backing it up. Everything else is pure spec. Here's Series 2 right now. 870, 870, 850, 750, 800. These have really shot up another couple $100 the last few days. Bill, it's very popular, but you're not getting it. If you think you're getting it, you're not. It's nearly impossible to get a black label. Go look at the population counts. I have 3 91 MUs. I ripped one on the channel on Saturday. That video is out there. I have 190 MU that I bought in the spring. I have a second one coming that I bought for $1,300 last week. It's dragging across in the mail. And then I have 3 X-Men boxes of Jim Lee 92. I ripped one, which that video will be going up in a couple days. And I'm keeping the other 2 sealed for now. Those have shot up as well. At Jim Lee 92 X-Men boxes are $500 or $600 a piece at the moment. It's crazy. Like literally every day they go nuts. Every day something else happens. I don't even know if CGC is doing it or not. I haven't dug into it because if I'm grading cards, I'm sending the PSA. I'm not messing around. Lots of people are buying the PSA 1090 Marvel cards. What happened was, essentially, for those that don't normally follow the channel and you're just here for the Marvel shenanigans, I normally play in the sports card world. I collected these cards as a kid. Things have gotten crazy the last couple weeks. I dove back in again. I had the boxes. I bought them in the spring for a nostalgia trip to rip one day during the pandemic and just never got around to it. So they've been sitting on the shelf for the last 9 months. But some of the sports card market lately, the last 2 months or so, the last month, I should say, has really been in a nostalgia vibe for 90s junk wax, low population count PSA 10 slabs in sports cards. You're really seeing it the last few weeks. All the stars from when we were a kid, or when I was a kid, Allen Iverson, Kevin Garnett, Tim Duncan, obviously Jordan and all that, but like the next tier down guys, Dirk, all that stuff. Sean Kemp, even like Sean Kemp 90 Fleer, which a billion of were printed, is way up there now. Ken Griffey Jr. 89 Upper Deck. That's always been a popular card. All that stuff. Football, baseball, basketball. 90 PSA 10 junk wax has soared the last few weeks. And it's beginning to bleed over. People have been talking about Marvel as being underrated. Gary V, probably the biggest, mentioned it on the down low a couple different times, like not straight tweeting about it, but mentioning it on some podcasts. The Card Talk 2 pod, Card Collector 2 pod, has mentioned Marvel multiple times over the last few months, and it's been slowly gaining steam. I think what really popped it off was that plus the 77 Star Wars set. A couple cards from that went crazy prices in PSA 10 because the population counts are so low. There's not a lot of this stuff out there. Then everyone started speccing on everything else. So once you go to Star Wars, the logical leap goes to Marvel fairly quickly. And when you look at 90 MU, which is kind of the flagship set, whether you like it or not, a lot of people like Marvel Masterpieces. A lot of people like Marvel Universe. Just depends kind of what you grew up with. But a lot of people view 90 MU as the flagship product. And when you look at PSA pop reports for 90 MU, there is not a lot of this stuff out there. I had them up somewhere. Let me try to find it. Here it is. So here's 1990 Marvel Universe PSA pop counts. There are only 1,900 PSA 10s across the entire set. So it doesn't take much demand to drive up prices. It's simple economics. People want this. All it takes is a couple people to want something, and then the prices skyrocket when your population counts are this low. Let's just scroll through this list real quick here. Captain America, there's only 28 of in PSA 10 slabs. How many of those are tucked away and are never going to see the light of day? And then how many are actually liquid on the market moving? You could see very quickly how it doesn't take very many people to drive these prices up. And that's what happened. And I do think it's some of that, Brian. You have these big time sports card investors that are throwing around a lot of money. There's tons of money in the sports card market right now, and people are looking to hop on the next thing as early as possible. So it was only natural that this eventually happened. But for those of you guys that have only been spending time on Marvel cards and are not used to the sports card market, this stuff moves insanely fast in the sports card market. A guy has a good game some nights, a no-name player, and their price will quadruple in an hour. If it's someone that's completely out of the blue, we see it all the time. And there's so much money floating around. Just stuff flies so quickly. And once the Eye of Sauron switched and slid itself over onto the Marvel trading card market and a lot of the other trading card markets, WWF/WWE trading cards are insane right now. And it's strictly PSA 10s. Strictly PSA 10s. That's what is in demand. Your Cosmic Spider-Man that you have 5 copies of that are super off-centered, have some dinged corners, or have been sitting in a binder stacked in the basement for 30 years that you dust off every once in a while to go on a trip down memory lane, are not pulling PSA 10s. So the best way to get PSA 10s is to rip packs. And that's where all the demand for the sealed product's coming from. Now, I talk about this in sports cards all the time. One particular thing will shoot up, say the PSA 10 of Zion Williamson. Then everything else follows. So his PSA 9 goes up. Then his other brand of card goes way up. His Prism shoots way up. Then his Optic goes, and his Select goes, so on and so forth. The same thing's happening here. The initial draw was Marvel 90s Universe. Those prices shot up fast. Marvel 91 lags behind. Then people are like, well, 90 got too expensive. Let me go buy some 91. Then those prices double or triple. And then you just keep spinning it down the mountain. The snowball just keeps rolling down the hill. Now it's like, well, okay, 91's expensive. Let me buy 93. Let me buy 92 X-Men. Then eventually it filters out into everything else. Let me buy the 90 comics images that are super junk wax. Or let me buy now DC Cosmic cards are going crazy because all the Marvel stuff moved and the DC set kind of stagnant for like a half a week. And now those prices have shot up. So it's like a weed. It gets in there and then it just spreads itself out through everything and just gobbles everything up as much as it possibly can. Sorry, I'm just getting caught up on chat. I was kind of rambling there for quite a while. And I don't know really how far it goes, but Garbage Pail Kids are super hot right now. Once again, it's all PSA 10 driven though. PSA 10 is what is driving all of this. Whether you think it makes sense or not doesn't matter. And I get why a lot of people don't think it makes any sense. Because they've collected the cards for years and they just throw them in a binder and that's all that they care about. They don't care about, someone puts it in a plastic clamshell and writes a 10 on it. I get it. It's not for you. I completely understand. It's not for everybody. But there is a segment of people out there that is all they care about, is that PSA 10 slab exists and they want it. Let's keep scrolling down this pop count real quick. You'll see that it doesn't take much to move these prices. Thor, there are only 9 Thors in PSA 10 from 90 Marvel Universe. That's it. 9 for the entire population / Marvel comic fan / investor / sports card guy, whatever. When only 9 of something exists, it does not take much to have demand go absolutely crazy. Mr. Fantastic, there's 11. Black Panther, 16. There's like nothing of this stuff. Spider-Man 29. I assume that's cosmic. No, that's regular. 16. And cosmic, there's only 6 of. 6 cosmic Spider-Man and PSA 10. That's why that goes for a couple grand every time one hits the market now. Because 6 exists. Now, are these population counts going to go up? Yes. But if you've never graded before, grading can take forever unless you pay through the nose. So it's going to take some time for a lot of this stuff to filter down to the market. And what ends up happening is, in the meantime, so say it takes 6 months for pop counts to go up substantially. Demand continues to grow because people keep talking about it and prices keep going higher. So as long as the cards trickle out of PSA, the demand will be there to meet it, and it should keep the prices up somewhat. Now, at some point, there will be a price pullback. It's just natural. There's no way that prices just keep going up forever. Sorry, just grabbing a drink real quick. So at some point in time, the prices will pull back a little bit and it'll establish a new floor. Your days of getting these boxes for $100 a piece and ripping with your kid on a Saturday morning are gone. That is never going to happen again. They may come back down again to a semi-reasonable price, but A, that's going to take forever, and B, that it just might never happen. There's a decent chance it just doesn't ever happen. Nobody knows. Everyone's just guessing. But once again, like you see, these pop counts, nothing. That's why the prices are going crazy. Now, I mentioned 90. So here's 90 MU. There's a little under 2,000 PSA 10s in existence. Let me pull up. I have 91 up over here somewhere in a window. Where did that go? Here it is. Here's 91. Why won't that? There it goes. I'm so done with NBA Top Shots already. I didn't even really take it that seriously. So here's 91 Marvel Universe. Now look at the population counts. PSA 10s, 220 exist. Why? Because no one ever graded this. The amount of people that graded this or sent these in for grading, because it never made sense before. So now all of a sudden you have a very even infinitesimal supply. The problem is that we don't have a lot of sales data to back up the box prices. In this case, the box prices on Series 2 are pure spec because there's just not a lot of sales on this stuff to justify it. You know, Spider-Man's the big card. There is one PSA 10 Spider-Man out of 90 MU or 91 MU. And for everyone that says that the market's going to get flooded with these things, like one, okay, we talked about it already. Grading takes a while. For those of you that, hey, what's up, Personal Finance Dad? I like your stuff. Let me lose my train of thought. Thanks, Personal Finance Dad. Oh, So for everyone that thinks all this stuff's going to flood PSA, and there's going to be PSA, I've made this comment on a couple other videos, that the PSA 10 tree is just going to go deposit PSA 10s all across the backyard and we just go pick them up. That's not the case. Go watch the box break I did on Saturday morning. And I posted a video recap of it this morning. I broke a box of 91 Marvel Universe Series 2 on Saturday. This morning, I posted an in-depth video breaking down how many cards I pulled out of there that I thought were PSA 10 worthy. There was not many. There was not a single Spider-Man. There was not a single Captain America. There was not a single Iron Man. There was not a single Thor. There was not a single Hulk that had a chance for a PSA 10 out of that box. The best cards I pulled was 2 Wolverines and 2 Venoms. In fact, that stacks right here. Let me see where that camera's at on old OBS. Make this just a little bit bigger. Whoa. This is why I don't do live streams. Let me make this a little bit bigger for a second and get in here. So out of 90, this is what I thought was PSA 10 worthy out of an entire box. Now, I did not pull every single card out. I pulled what I deemed as key characters. So 1 Spider-Man versus Venom, and this took me a minute to find this one. I'm not sure this is even going to make the cut. 2 Lokis, a Doc Ock, a Doctor Doom, 2 Venoms, 2 Wolverines, a Scarlet Witch, a Fantastic Four, 2 Spider-Man's web shooters, and a Mr. Fantastic. Out of key characters, that's it. Out of an entire box. Everything else was either off-centered or had some type of corner damage. Occasional rounded or soft corner, not real bad, but enough to prevent it from getting a 10. So there you go. If, say you bought a $900 box of Series 2, hoping to hit some Iron Mans, Thors, or basically the Avengers, I got none. 0 out of a pack fresh box that I opened myself. I am not sure yet, Yam. I am probably going to... I've been debating this for the last 2 days because you guys haven't seen it yet. I ripped the box of X-Men, hoping for a Deadpool. Spoilers, I got 2, but neither one of them are PSA candidates. I did pull 1 Magneto that's going to go. My God, this set is just gorgeous. You guys will see this video probably Thursday or Friday. I don't know yet. It's up. I was actually uploading it, and then this happened. I decided to go live. This I found for 20 cents at a local comic shop. It is in really good shape. So we're going to see if we can get lucky on this. And then I pulled this out of my set from when I was a kid. Looks in pretty good shape. I'm worried about some whiting on the back borders, but I'm going to send this as well. But I think I'm going to send the Wolverine 90, the 2 Wolverine 91s, and the 2 Venom 91s at Express. So $75 a card. And then kind of see what happens. So I don't know that that's 2 or 5 day, but it would be express grade. So this one right here. And for those of you Marvel guys, I don't know who in here is from my normal sports card shenanigans and how many are more into the Marvel stuff and not the sports card stuff. Please educate yourself on grading. I see a lot of people talking about card grading. What am I trying to say here? A lot of people are going to waste a lot of money grading cards that should not be graded or grading improperly. Educate yourself on what it takes to get a PSA 9 or 10 before you spend $75, $50 a card on card grading. Just be very careful. A lot of people are going to waste a lot of money getting PSA 7s and 8s. And you might be able to get your money back just depending on what you paid for them to begin with. Normally, these are things people would send at bulk level at $12 a card, but PSA is so backed up, it'll take you almost a year to get that stuff back. So if you want to get it back sooner, you have to pay through the nose to get it. So Heroic Goods and Games, I've actually made a spreadsheet that I am now tracking pop counts on 90. So I started on February 2nd, and up until today, they have not changed. So I'm going to periodically update this. I don't actually, you guys can't see that. Woohoo. Hold on a second. There you go. Top of the screen right here. Right here. I don't know how well you guys can actually see that, but I am tracking population counts on a spreadsheet to do that exact thing. I wouldn't be surprised if PSA pricing went up. Let me make this small again. So here's PSA pricing right here. I forgot that I made the desk camera bigger and you guys couldn't see what I was looking at. This is why I do not live stream. See, the 90MU stuff, even in PSA 9, is pulling good prices. So, like, let me search for this real quick. I get that, Charles. I think 90's gonna be the one that you want, though, because that's the one that has all the nostalgia for it. It just depends on if you think this is going to last a while. If it does, it'll eventually filter down to that stuff. I mean, the things that are already well known are 96 Marvel Masterpieces and 2013 Retro for the PMGs. PMGs always had a good price point, and they're even more insane now. Yeah, which baffles me. I can't believe the web shooters went for that much. So here's PSA 9s. I mean, a PSA 9 Black Panther sold for $650. A PSA 9 Stan Lee went for $500 and $600. PSA 9s of these, I'm going to call them dumb. I never really liked these as a kid, but the Spider-Man interview cards in PSA 9 are going for a couple $100. So even at $75 a card, if you get a 9 back on 90 Marvel Universe, you're still making good money, even after fees and everything. I'm just curious to see if any more of these boxes sold. No. So for those of you guys that weren't here at the beginning of the stream, what kind of started all this was about an hour and a half ago now, a little over that. Someone bought out all the Marvel 90 boxes sub 4K. Within a span of 10 minutes, someone bought all these about 2 hours ago now. Maybe not quite 2 hours ago. Let's see what is still there for. See if any new ones got posted. So essentially, the prices jumped $1,000 in the last hour. And the cheapest sealed box on the market is still this one at $2,900, but it is beat to hell. The cheapest non-beat to hell sealed box is this one for $5K. So my biggest problem with HGA is the 9.5 grading scale. It could have started as a pump wares, but even if it started as a pump, it's out of control now. Like if someone pumped it, it's that part's over. The pump happened weeks ago, and now it's just kind of off to the races, and nature's taking its course. I don't think there's any way someone is dropping 3-6. I don't know. What is that? Like $15,000 to pump the market? Maybe they are. I don't know. That seems crazy to me because it's not like these things were selling super cheap before this. I could have posted a Marvel 90MU box for $2,000 and basically insta sold it. So it's not like these things weren't liquid like over the last couple weeks. So was it a pump? I don't know. Maybe we'll see if all these sellers relist their stuff in a week. I'm not saying it's not possible, but I doubt it. I think this is strictly, so what I kind of talked about this earlier. Anyone that's in the sports card game sees what PSA 10 prices are selling for, and 9s, what PSA 9 and 10 prices are selling for, and they just do the math. If Black Panther's going for $3,000 in a PSA 10, so basically a key character is going for $2,000 to $3,000 in a PSA 10 out of 90 MU. It doesn't make sense for a box to be $2,000 to $3,000. It should be way more than that, because even the classic covers are going for $700, $800, $900 in a PSA 10. So anyone from the sports card side of things does the math equation on that very quickly and realizes I can make a ton of money here, even subbing at $75 a piece to PSA and get them back in a month at Express. So it's just a big math equation. That's all that it is. And you have people from the sports card world that $3,000 is nothing. They'll throw $3,000 at a single card, like nothing. So $3,000 for a box. I mean, a hobby box of NBA Prism from 2018 is probably $7,000 to $8,000. So this is nothing compared to that. Plus, you have the nostalgia trip and all that, and influencers and everyone else pumping and stuff. So it's just, you know, these weren't bids though; they're buy it nows. Someone just straight bought these. These aren't auctions. All these ones that sold in that 10-minute period was someone going down and clicking buy it now on all of them. And I don't know that it was the same person, but it just seems weird to me that all 10, not 10, 6 or 7 sold in the period of 10 minutes. That makes me think that it was one person or a majority of people buying them up. Sure, they could just not pay. That's why I said, you know, you'll find out in a week if all these sellers relist this stuff or not. But it just seems like a lot of effort to move the market when the market's already trending that direction anyways, like to pump it to the next level. I don't know. It was already heading to $3,000 a box anyway. Auctions were already starting to creep that high for the stuff that was at buy it now above $3,000. It was just a matter of time before it got there. I'm not going to go that deep, Lee, but you could, I guess. I don't know, Ruben. I really don't. I don't know that it'll filter all the way down to the 8s and the 7s. I mean, they'll naturally go up because everything else is going up, but I don't know that they'll go crazy. Those cards will have a low ceiling on them just because they're not in a 10. It'll kill a card, Julio. PSA requires 60-40 centering, and that's on an extreme. That means the rest of the card needs to be near perfect to have a chance at a PSA 10. PSA has been cracking down a little bit on centering lately. So that's the biggest problem with these cards. The box of 91 MU that I ripped, most of the cards were off-centered, either left to right or top to bottom, mostly left to right or right to left, one or the other. Watch the video I posted this morning. I went through in detail on that entire box, talking about what I saw and what I didn't see. For the most part, the box of 91 that I ripped, corners were pretty solid. I had a few bad corners on cards, and they're minor. It doesn't take much to knock it from a 10 to a 9. That's, you know, just a little tiny whitening, a little tiny rounding on a corner that's easy to miss if you're not paying super close attention. Surface wise, most of the cards are pretty good. It's centering. Centering is terrible. And I can tell you today, I ripped the box of 92 X-Men yesterday, recorded it. It'll be up in a couple days. I went through everything today that was not Wolverine, Deadpool, or Magneto, because those were the main things I was looking for. I went through the rest of the box today, like taking a really good look at everything. 92 Jim Lee X-Men centering is terrible. Probably half the box would not meet centering requirements for me for a PSA 10. And on the key characters, what did I do with that? It is right here. So this right here, this is an entire box of 92 Jim Lee X-Men. All penny sleeved. Let me find where I put the break at. This right here, this section of this box right here is what I thought had the centering for a PSA 10. Everything else has some type of centering issue, either top to bottom or left to right or right to left. The rest of this box has centering problems to some degree, or it's something I don't care about. It's like the, Gate Crasher card or the TechNet team card or whatever. This is all the major X-Men and X-Men villains. And this is all I got that have enough centering. I didn't even look at corners yet. This is strictly off centering. I do centering as a first pass because if centering doesn't look good, I just move on. So this right here out of an entire box of 92 X-Men Jim Lee is all that I got for key characters and villains, heroes and villains that even have a shot centering wise. Centering is the biggest problem on these cards. And you can't control it. It's just pure luck. It is pure luck. Most people aren't going to send a card that can't get a 9 or a 10, typically. Unless it's like a Jordan rookie that's super valuable. An SGC 10 Wolverine just went for 800. I would spec a Wolverine. I don't remember if number 10 is that brown suit, yellow suit, or patch. I can never keep them straight by the card number. I would guess a PSA 9 in that is probably a $500 to $700 card. $500 to $600 card. Purely guessing. Purely guessing. Nats Man 72. What is up, buddy? What is going on? Hey, you'll be excited. I have a baseball video dropping tomorrow morning. You're my baseball guy. Once again, I'm not talking. I am just glancing through chat very quickly to see if there's anything crazy that I missed. No? Okay. Looks like I got relatively caught up on stuff. So yeah, anyway, rather than making a video, I just figured I would go live. But I literally just saw this happen and was like, holy cow. Hey, what's up, Beaver? Yeah, but you were all over the Baby Yoda, though. Batman Nats Man 72. Go check out his YouTube channel. He was all over the Baby Yoda hype. I don't know that you talked about it on your YouTube channel because you don't actually ever post videos on your YouTube channel anymore. But that's another one. The PSA 10 Baby Yoda from the Star Wars Living set. About a month ago, 2-3 weeks ago, sold for about $200 to $300. I bet you that's probably like a $500 card right now. I haven't seen one of those sell yet. I have not checked lately to see what those are going for. DC Hype's already here. The DC Cosmic 91 boxes, I think those are, maybe 92. I do not remember the year. Have jumped astronomically the last few days. Last 2 days, really, have gone way up. Jeff, I would guess basically. It's really tough to tell. I have a Spider-Man sitting right here, actually. This one's beat up. This was from my collection as a child. But you can see right there at the top, I have a nice edge ding from probably pulling it in and out of the binder and reading the card as a kid. There's no real good way to tell centering on these. Cards like this, there's some sports cards like this that don't have good edges to tell centering on. I don't worry about it, to be quite honest with you. This is the set that I missed the boat on. I did not buy any boxes of these. I didn't think it would trickle down that far, and I am sad that I didn't. I really wish I had 2 boxes of this, but they are astronomically expensive now. They're like $500 a box right now. I'm probably going higher. So, the niche stuff is good, like the 95 Marvel Metal, the 2013 Retro, all that stuff. But if you get too niche, most people don't know it exists. That's the reason why the Marvel Universe stuff's going the most crazy, because everyone remembers collecting it as a kid. most people didn't collect 95 metal. I understand the appeal and I understand why it's popular, but people just coming back probably don't even know that that exists. Where almost everybody from 35 to 45 probably ripped a Marvel Universe pack at some point in time from their age 8 to 14 childhood, because they were literally everywhere. There's like no PSA sales from the DC stuff. I'm not a DC guy, so I wouldn't chase it even if it existed. This is a collect what you love type thing for me. I'm a Marvel guy, so I'm not going to chase DC boxes. That's just not me. I do not like DC. Do not like. I mean, I remember Modern Masterpieces as a kid. I remember that I didn't like them. That's what I remember about them as a kid, and that their packs were more expensive than Marvel Universe. My logic as a kid was I could get 2 packs of Marvel Universe for 1 pack of Marvel Masterpiece, and I liked the artwork better because I wanted the comic book art. I read the comics as a kid. I wanted the art on the cards to match what I was looking at in the comics. The comics I read didn't look like Modern Masterpieces. So be careful with guys. I mentioned this at the beginning of the stream. And Flare, be careful. I would not buy a box of that to rip right now. They stick and they brick. Or sticking equals bricking, but go watch YouTube videos of those 2 products before you dive headfirst into them. That's the other advantage to Marvel Universe from a ripping perspective, are those products do not stick. Though I had no problems with my 91 box. Smooth as butter. Smooth as butter. All right, I'm going to hop off here, guys. The Cavs playing 30 minutes, and I'm going to relax and watch that game against the Suns. Like I said, this was extremely impromptu. I saw this price move happen on 91MU, wanted to talk about it, and figured it was just as easy to hop on and do a live stream as it was to just properly record a video. This is a little less work. Don't normally go live very often, but this felt like a good spot for it. Smash the like button on your guys' way out the door. Go check out, if you're here for the Marvel stuff, the video I posted this morning that is an in-depth breakdown of a 91 Marvel Universe Series 2 box from a grading perspective. So, 90 Marvel Universe had a major buyout about 2 hours ago now, where, just recapping this for people coming in late, where someone bought out every box on eBay sub $3,500 within the span of about 10 minutes, essentially resetting the markets. You can see it up on the screen here. 3,800, 3,200, 3,500, 3,000, 3,250, all in a 10-minute period. Let's see if that other one popped up real quick before we go. One more sold, but it just hasn't hit 130 point yet to see. And it looks like it did. So let's see what this one sold for. Someone bought it straight out for $3,500. So there was another. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 boxes that sold within 30 minutes, essentially resetting the market. Let's see what is available at Buy It Now out there right now. Still the same 10. So the cheapest box on eBay right now is $5,000 sealed. This one still is hanging around for 2,900, but this box is beat to hell and the cellophane's partially off. I would not touch that box for $3,000. I don't know that they get to 10K. Yes. 90 Series 1 is the Stan Lee card. Direct one. It absolutely is the Stan Lee card. All right. Anyone got any other questions before I end the stream? Could be sports card related or Marvel related. Most of you are probably here for the Marvel stuff. 91 DC boxes just shot up in price the last couple days. I don't remember what they're at right now, but they just blew up yesterday mostly. They were like $100 a box for a hot minute. Everything junk wax is blowing up. G.I. Joe Impel boxes shot up. Someone put a big buyout on those. So, but For the $10 value service, sure, why not? I mean, at $10, I mean, if you're only starting if you're only sending a couple of them, it's whatever. At the $10 level, I mean, you could get fast and loose with that stuff, because you're into it so low for grading. Me personally, if I'm ripping a box of 90 MU, I'm sending it at the $75 level to get it back in a month, just in case the bottom falls out of this thing. Stickers have already gone up. The 60s and 70s stickers market shot way up. I don't know if the modern ones will. Those never really caught on here. They have decent value, but 90 MU is going to be the flagship product. Whether people like it or not, it is going to be the flagship product for this. It is the one everyone associates with. It's the one that people from the sports card world think of as rookie cards. So the 90 universe stuff is going to be the product. 66 stuff already shot up. Once again, going back to, I mentioned this earlier, going back to the stuff like that, 66, 70, Metal Universe, most people don't know that that existed. Most people are buying this stuff, in addition to the fact that the prices are going way up, that they collected this stuff as a kid. So one, it's rare because there's very few PSA 10s. Check. Two, they collected it as kids. Nostalgia vibe. Check. 3, Marvel, super popular IP. Check. Population counts, sub single digits in some cases. Check. Gary V talking about it. Check. That's why prices are going crazy. PSA 10 selling for $3,000. You could buy a box for $3,000. You get one PSA 10 out of it. You basically broke even. You get 2 PSA 10s out of it. Now you're going to the money tree. If someone mentioned about Marvel Universe boxes going to 10K. If more PSA 10 cards come back and the sales justify it, these boxes will continue to go up. Because once again, we talked about it earlier. It's a math equation. How many PSA 10s do you get out of an MU90 box on average? Whatever that number is. Nobody knows. It's going to be different for every box. But on average, how many PSA 10 worthy cards? If you graded the entire box, how many PSA 10s do you get out of it on average? Then you start doing the math. What does an average PSA 10 sell for out of 90 MU? Can you be profitable off the box price? Yes or no? It's just a simple math equation at that point. And then if you hit a key, like a Black Panther, $3,000, a Stan Lee, $3,000, or heaven forbid, you get a Cosmic Spider-Man hologram that you can pull a PSA 9 on. Now you're to the moon. So as long as the PSA 10 market keeps going, investors are going to look at this as a money-making opportunity, buying the sealed boxes and taking the risk to grade them. It's essentially a big casino. It's a $3,000 bet plus grading fees that they could get PSA 10s and make money off the investment. That's what is driving all of this. You might not like it. You might hate it, but that's what's driving all this. If Gary Vee was investing in Marvel, he did it a long time ago. Yeah, UFC is another one. That market's been going crazy too. Be careful chasing these raw, guys. You know, I see a lot of people selling this stuff raw out there and people buying it up thinking that they're in for a gold mine, or people pulling boxes out from underneath their bed and selling them. Personally, I would not advise you to go out and buy. I don't know raw wise how much value this stuff's going to carry, because for the people on the Facebook groups that preach about this stuff was printed into the ground and there's billions of these cards out there, they're not wrong. This stuff was printed into the ground. The difference is there's not PSA 10s everywhere. So the Stan Lee card is a dime a dozen. A Stan Lee card in PSA 9 or 10 condition is a whole different ball game. So don't go crazy buying stacks and stacks of raw stuff thinking that it's the next best thing. That's dangerous. That is extremely dangerous, especially at the inflated prices, because odds are, especially now, if someone's selling a Stan Lee or basically anything from 90 MU, if they're selling it raw right now and not sending it in for grading, it probably is not a PSA 9 or 10. And on eBay, it is really hard to tell looking at these cards. Before we get out of here, I'll give you one last good example, and then I'm gonna take off. Give me 1 second. Let me make this camera big, the desk camera big. I talked about this on one of the videos the other day. Let me find it. Where did it go? It's right here, somewhere. Right here. Okay. This Black Panther. I bought this at my local comic shop the other day for 20 cents. I saw it in the binder. I was like, this looks great. Dead on centering. About as dead on as you can get. Okay. Take this out of the penny sleeve. Corners all look pretty good. There's not much going on with the corners. That one's not too bad, especially considering this was just from a comic shop binder. This was not pack pulled. Well, I mean, it was pack pulled at one point in time, but come on, autofocus. All right. So this card looks pretty sharp, right? If you saw this on an eBay listing, you'd be like, oh man, what the hell is this idiot doing? Selling this thing, right? Like, this looks good. Okay. Now look, this is going to be very hard to see. Right there. Do you see where the orange meets the white in the top right-hand corner? Right where the glare is, just to the right of the glare, there is a little tiny crease. There's a little bubble, a little ripple right there, where that side of the card is creased slightly. Right there. Right at the corner, cutting diagonally across from the top to the side. Right there. Like I said, it's very hard to see. There, you can kind of catch it right there when I move the light across. Little crease right there. That's probably a PSA 8 if you're lucky. I thought about maybe subbing it anyways. This would be something I would sub at a $10 service and see what happens. Maybe it sneaks past them. Because other than that, this card looks great. This card looks absolutely fantastic. And I did not notice this in the shop. Now, I didn't care. It was a 20-cent card. You know, I grabbed it out of the binder. I was like, whatever. I was basically just looking for anything that was well-centered and worried about the rest later. But that's all it takes. But that on an eBay listing for $40 or whatever someone's selling it for right now, and you think you're chasing the dragon getting a PSA 10. That's not a PSA 10, even though it looks like it on an eBay photo. Alex, that very well could be the case. I don't Gary Vee has so much money, he does not really need to manipulate the card market to make more. So that's the only thing I don't necessarily buy when people say that he manipulates the markets on stuff. Like, that dude's worth a fortune. I don't think he needs to be pumping and dumping Marvel 90 MU boxes to make ends meet at the end of the week. Jordan's a different level. All right, I'm just getting caught up on chat real quick. I mean, it's a little off left to right, but it is pretty damn close. No, it's actually... It's about as dead on as you can get. I don't know how well this centering tool is going to play on the video. But that's actually pretty much dead on centering. $15 on eBay. You can't beat this thing. That is dead on centering. No, SGC 10s do not compare to PSA 10s. They sell for about 30 to 40% less than a PSA 10. Yes, Dota. I am very bad at Dota. Must have had a Steam notification pop up in the corner. I always forget to close it. All right, guys, I'm officially sneaking out of here. Smash the like button on your way out the door. Sub to the channel if you're new here. I do Marvel now and sports cards. Sports cards is the primary, but to be honest with you, I've been having more fun making the Marvel videos because it is a blast to the past and it sparks joy, to steal a phrase from Marie Kondo. But yeah, like, comment, sub, YouTube nonsense down below, Amazon affiliate links. You guys know all the crap that all the other YouTubers talk about. But that's it. Thanks for hanging out for a little bit on this very impromptu Marvel live stream. For later in the week, there's a baseball video tomorrow for you here for the Marvel content. I have an X-Men 92 Jim Lee box break that I already recorded that will be up later in the week. And at some point in time, I have a second box of 90 Marvel MU coming. It is slowed down in the mail, and I refresh the tracking about every 30 seconds. When that gets here, that will be my second box of 90 Marvel MU, and I am probably going to rip one. Yes, I know. Rip a $4,000 box or whatever the hell they're going to be by the time it gets here of Marvel cards. We shall see. But as of right now, the plan is to rip one. I've been wanting to rip one since I bought the one back in March and never got around to it. So why not wait until they're $4,000 a piece now and rip one? Woohoo! So that'll probably be, I will do that live, and that will be a long video because I will be taking my time with that one. So yeah, like, comment, sub, come along for the ride. Catch you guys on the next one. Thanks for hanging out. Peace.